Hey, good morning and happy Sunday. Really? All right. What a statement, eh? Just, what is that, four notes? Yeah. Shine on you, crazy diamond. It's loud, not distorted, totally clean, innovative, and really makes a statement, does it not? I'm here. I'm playing guitar, and this is the beginning of the song. David Gilmour, 79 years old this week, guys. Cheers! Happy Sunday! Happy Sunday! As I use the Kiss cup comes out of the cupboard. It's cupboard with a K. And yeah, David Gilmour, 79 years old, man. Wow. Gentleman's been around a long time, still touring, still out. I think he's got his daughter singing with him in his new project, his solo project. David Gilmour, of course, the guitar player for Pink Floyd for all the best years. I mean, there's still people that always go and want to say, the other guy, Sid Barrett, who, I mean, none of the big songs that was Sid Barrett, Pink Floyd. It was all David Gilmour, Pink Floyd. So it's kind of like how Metallica fans go back to Cliff, but Cliff was pretty incredible and had a lot of albums under his belt. Sid Barrett did not, but David Gilmour does. So let's talk about David Gilmour for a bit. Here's a guitar player that's not known for his speed and all that kind of stuff. He's known for the space that he leaves between notes and everything else. It's just amazing. Like that whole. And for those of you following along at home, that is D string 8, B string 6, open G, and open E. So there's your D, D8, open G. That's your B string 6 and open E. Just an incredible statement, incredible player, legendary, and just have to be one of my favorite players for the feel and soul of everything. Comfortably Numb is a classic solo, as almost all of them are, right? For Wish You Were Here, everything else. Wish You Were Here. David Gilmour, I just wanted to mention, though, those of you who are Pink Floyd fans and do not know the album About Face by David Gilmour, you should listen to that song, particularly a song called Murder. And Brett, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I should have played that song. For you guys. That's would have required practice rather than learning four notes on my Strat here. Anyways, David Gilmour, big Strat player. The black Strat was a iconic guitar, just like Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstein, just like Jimmy Page's Double Neck or Jimmy Page's Les Paul. The black Strat was the original Strat that he bought in Manny's in New York City on one of the Pink Floyd tours. Amazingly about David Gilmour is he didn't care too much about that guitar, even though that was the iconic guitar. If you do not know the guitar, it's basically a black Strat like this, but it had a black pickguard with the white knobs and white pickups coming through, so it had a very distinctive look. And I think he eventually, when he did a huge auction a few years back, just sold off those guitars, and the black Strat was one of them. And it was on everything. It was on all the tours. It was on the Wall tours, on stage at the Wall. Probably recorded Dark Side of the Moon with that guitar. And to him, it was just another guitar. Just okay. We'll just sell them with the rest. But he's a huge, person who gives a lot to charity, millions of dollars to charity. which is very, very admirable for rock stars who have a lot of money. You should do that. I know you're going to say they probably get a huge tax break for it, but he doesn't have to do that either, right? So, but just one of my favorite players for just the whole soul and feel. Huge Strat player, but it's funny. One of the best Strat solos was not played on a Strat. It was played on a gold top Les Paul with P90s, like my P90 guy back there. Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, I was wrong. Way too much echo, sorry. Yeah, I was played on a P90 guitar, interestingly enough. Big time feuds between Roger Waters and David Gilmour. We probably won't see a Pink Floyd reunion, unfortunately. For me, Pink Floyd, I wasn't the biggest Pink Floyd fan. I was more into Led Zeppelin growing up in high school, and just all the '80s guitar players that came up subsequently around that time. And at my high school, there were Zeppelin fans. There were some of the new wave fans, and then there was, what we called was the stoner rock was Pink Floyd, and then I just became because we listened to classic rock radio growing up, some great stations in Toronto, Q107 and Chum FM was actually a rock station back then. Do you guys remember when Chum FM used to play double shots? That was their whole thing. They used to play 2 songs from an album, and kind of messed you up when you went to another station because you're waiting for that second song and it never came up, and then you realize, oh, I'm on cue. But one of those things. But yeah, when Chum FM was a rock station, I think they were the better station, to be honest with you, quite honestly. But and Q107 was in its infancy back then. Well, not really. I think they started in '77. So in the '80s, they were still rocking through and stuff like that. But Pink Floyd was a huge staple on I think they called it AOR, album-oriented rock, back in those days. And FM stations are still alive today, but kind of in the background when we can do, dare I say it, streaming that's ruined music as we know it. But that wasn't out loud. No, but yeah. Anyhow, let's change gears and look at some fun facts about David Gilmour. Let's check that out. All right, let's go. He was a model before joining Pink Floyd. Good-looking guy. Helped launch the career of Kate Bush, British pop. Could you call her progressive rock? Maybe art rock. There's a good term. Art rock. Has a houseboat on the Thames River, which is a recording studio called the Astoria. Now, if you've seen any videos of him there's a ton of videos of him recording on his boat, and it's incredible. Pink Floyd made a lot of money, in other words. Donated millions of dollars to charity, as we spoke of earlier. He has 8 children, and he's the godparent to actress Naomi Watts. I didn't know that. And then basically 5 solo albums, inducted to the U.S. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996 and the U.K. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2005. And he has also a collection of aircraft, which is amazing. Drummer, have you ever seen Pink Floyd drummer Nick Mason's has a huge collection of cars, which is incredible, Ferraris and that too. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you can look up those pictures. But yeah, huge influence on a lot of players today, especially your progressive players in that. Pink Floyd. I remember growing up, Dark Side of the Moon was on the charts for some ridiculous amount of time. I guess that kind of contributes to how much money a band has and that kind of thing. But yeah, just an incredible statement. Dark Side of the Moon. Has anyone ever looked up the Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon parallel? Where, yeah, if you don't know this already, if you play the Dark Side of the Moon, apparently it matches up with the movie Wizard of Oz, and you could play them concurrently. And freak yourself out. If you don't want to do that and do the simulcast, there's an old word for you. The simulcast thing with the album and your TV for the movie, or DVD or VCR if you have to. There's a YouTube video where guys, some people line it up, and you know it does. But I think I hardly think that Pink Floyd wrote the album around the movie The Wizard of Oz. It's kind of cool that it lines up, but doesn't. Watch it and see. You'll see. Huge guitar collection, as I mentioned before. Amazing player. There's some other notes about him that you might not know. There's an incredible song that I love by Pete Townsend called "Give Blood," and he plays on that, and that's a great video too. Live video with Simon Phillips on drums. He also played a lot with Paul McCartney. "No More Lonely Nights." That's his solo on there, and just a completely talented player who didn't use speed and flash. He's kind of the anti shredder. There you go. Anyways, happy 79th birthday week to Pink Floyd's or solo artist, if you will, David Gilmour, and gets kudos in the room down here because he is a Strat player, and we broke out the Strat for him. Anyhow, cheers everybody. Happy March. It is now March. The weather is usually getting better in March. The baseball season will be upon us, and then we know summer's coming. Thanks to everybody who's been coming out to see me play with Keep the Faith and Bridge on Fire. It's going to be an incredibly busy month for both those bands, or for me, because I play in both those bands. Bridge on Fire, if you're in the Hamilton area this Friday night, we are opening for an Alice Cooper tribute, but we are doing a ridiculously long set, which might be between 60 and 75 minutes for an opening band. So it's kind of our own show. If you like us, come out and see Bridge on Fire at Stonewalls in Hamilton on Friday, March 14th, March 15th. If you're in the Perry Sound area. Why should I laugh at that? There's a lot of people live up there. Come on, everyone. I know a lot of people who live up in that area. So if you're in Perry Sound, Keep the Faith will be at the Stocky Theater. I don't know the official name, but it's a beautiful place, and come out and see us. Other gigs coming up. We have Hamilton coming up for Keep the Faith, as well as Brampton on March 22nd. East Sides in London for Bridge on Fire, as well as there's one more gig for Bridge on Fire. Maybe there isn't. I thought there was. I'm forgetting. Anyways, but Bridge on Fire is playing East Sides at the end of the month, which is kind of our home away from home. We love the place, and kind of like Cabanas, which thank you, Cabanas, for all your hospitality last weekend. Anyhow, that's all I have to say about guitar stuff this week, as well as David Gilmour's Pink Floyd. Cheers, happy March. Take it easy, people. Have a good one. See ya. Bye.